Walking. Walking. Christopher Walking. No, just walking. Alright, so this one has an interesting melody. This is a song as well. I like to walk whenever I can, really. Around the city, you know, the promenade, oh my God. Give me a soft girl in a sundress, warm summer's night. Santa Monica kills me. I'm walking by this one bar and they got karaoke. And I'm thirsty, so I go in. She's singing, I got a face, I got a name. Oh, you got a place, babe, much more of the same. Oh, nah, that's what she said. I'm getting tired of walking in my head. So I'm walking back out on the street now. When I'm thinking, you know, it'd be sweet now, a little midnight treat now. So I call a friend who calls a friend who calls this musician. She tells me where to meet. And I'm giving her the cash. She's looking so, so sweet. So I ask her if she wants to go get a drink or something, you know. Maybe she's thirsty. And she tells me, I got a face, I got a name. Oh, you got a place, babe, much more the same. Oh, nah, that's what she said. I'm getting tired of walking in my head. This is a bridge. See, I've learned how to make a bridge now. Now, smoke fills in my lungs. This ain't your ordinary shit. I'm feeling colors. I'm seeing moonbeams flying overhead. I'm hearing the whispering of wind chimes, flying on a breeze that flew all the way from Africa. And I'm walking, floating really, big ass smile, looking fucking silly. When my phone rings, it's my old lady. She's thirsty. She's sounding so, so sweet. She's begging for a drink. So I tell her, I say, I got a face, I got a name. Oh, you're at my place, babe, much more of the same. Oh yeah, that's what I said. I'm getting so, so tired. Gets damn lonely walking in your head. So that's a thank you. That is a more like a half talking, half singing song. It's got like a the melody's like boom, 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 boom. I like to walk boom, boom, whenever I can, really. Booms around the city, you know. So booms, promenade, oh my God. Give me a soft girl in a sundress on a warm summer's night. Santa Monica kills me. That's what it is. It's basically like I think it's like a 1-3-5 or something like that. 1-4-5. Start with like an E, something like that. E A B or something like that. It's an interesting song, and then I took the bridge from that girl from Southern California. She's a musician, her family's are, and so the guy that I knew from middle school. Anyways, too much details. It's a good song. I like the song. Again, this one also is a little bit misplaced. This is probably when I was living in Venice Beach, Santa Monica, so this is more like, this process is helping me correct my memory of all these things that happen. It's interesting, once you get in your 30s, everything starts to get a little hazy. Not too hazy, not enough where I can't go back and set it right, but that's why I'm doing it, because I want to, you only get older and you only get more clouded, more life happens. I have a feeling that a lot of life is about to happen, so this is my way to put it down for now so I can reference this. So I was in Santa Monica, and they have a promenade. A lot of people are on the street. I'm watching life go by. I'm not in college. I'm gone in and out of the military. Now I try to work, so it's like, all right, who am I? What am I? How do I find people? How do I present myself to the world? How do I normalize and socialize? And that's the thing, when we talk about like social outcasts right now, I think that's a big thing in society, is people who aren't socialized normally. There's this book about that, this concept that there's the zombies, the vampires, there's always been myths about the individual who could take down all of society, the toxic individual, the monster. And that's what like the vampire is, the Frankenstein monster, the zombie. And I would think that's to warn society, warn cultures, that if you don't have an inclusive culture that takes care of everyone, it only takes one person to veto all of society. One person can do a lot of damage. Human potential works both ways. We're like, nuclear force is nothing compared to a creative individual who feels like they've been scorned. We're all here by the grace of everyone else. And if someone wants to veto, your high school reunion, they can show up and pay back all those people who have ever done them wrong. Constant vigilance is a form of captivity. And so we keep peace, I think, by keeping a level of inclusivity in society. And I think that's where this narrative is walking towards, that as we constrain society more and more, we're going to find more and more of these. We just had one this morning. Someone in Thousand Oaks, a veteran, went and shot up a place and killed a couple dozen people and injured a couple dozen more. We don't have an honest narrative about the war that we've been in, so then these veterans come back and they don't have a way to tell their stories because they're not included in the narrative. People don't even know that we still have troops in Iraq and Afghanistan, and we have over 15,000, 20,000 people. I think Trump stopped reporting, so now we just have to guess. It depends on the investigative journalists. So the troops come back from being an invisible person to society, which doesn't recognize them. We complain about the Vietnam era, where they came back and we demonize them. But what's worse, when we talk about you as a monster and we spit at you, or we don't even acknowledge what you've been doing over there. And that's going to come later. I have some books that I've read about what happened. So, yeah, I'm not that far gone. I didn't go to combat, but I definitely don't feel, I'm feeling like I'm slipping society. I'm feeling like I have a little bit less traction than the average person. I don't identify with the routes that my peers are taking in high school and college. Didn't identify with the military. And then this is like, I guess, me placing myself in society. Like, I'm in Santa Monica, I'm trying to approach women. That's what I'm trying to, like, all these little problems. I went and I solved the money problem. I solved the socialization problem to an extent. Getting girlfriends, getting experiences. But this is me trying to do that, imagining it. And I'm like, karaoke. This is me trying to approach women. And then also this is me trying to analyze romance. That whole, like, I'm projecting loneliness, that I want women, but I have a woman at home. How loyal can I be? Is this just my projection of, like, is this real romance? And I think, like, any honest person comes to a point like that in their life where they're like, is this an honest romance, or is it just me just being, like, I don't want to say predatory because it's not like I'm taking advantage of people, but am I sincerely, there's a morality to romance, I think. There's a morality to sales, there's a philosophy to sales, whether you want to, like, actually provide a benefit or just take someone's money. And there's a morality to romance, whether you want to actually have a sincere connection or just get laid. And sometimes someone just wants a service, and they don't really want you to be their buddy, and they don't want you to be, sometimes someone wants to buy a product, they don't want to buy the service, so that's okay. Sometimes someone just wants to scratch that itch, they don't want you to be, and that was me actually, is like always trying to make every little interaction into true love. Where, like, the girls having a little bit more experience than me, usually more experience than me, we're a little bit, like, more jaded, less sensitive. And so if you're always like that guy who thinks everything is true love, it's a little bit too much. But there's another side of that where, like this dude in the song, like, you got a girl at home and you're out there, what are you trying to do? You're trying to, and I've been there before, I've definitely had my flings outside of, like, a relationship, had a girl and then, like, gone in and done stuff behind her back, cheated on her and stuff. So, but this is me just thinking about that. I got a face, I got a name. She's and then it gets lonely walking in your head. I guess this is me questioning whether the life of a player is worth it before I even got to experience it. Now that I've experienced a little bit of, having relationships and not being honest in them, is it worth it? I don't know. I guess my morality right now at 36 is like when I read stuff about Will Smith and his dynamic, I kind of agree with that. I think that's the wisdom of introspection, is that when I'm with someone, it's because I want to be with that person. There's no such thing as cheating. When people are like, why cheat, it's not a game, I think of actually the opposite. Like, why use the term? If it's not a game, why use the words of games? We want to be someone, be with someone, but if they had a connection with someone else and they followed them, then that's what it was. Now if they come back to you, if you guys figure it out, but that whole, again, character's built out of sincerity and honesty. Be sincere in your emotions. If you're wandering, there's a reason why you're wandering. Investigate that. Don't stop at the cheating and just blame the person and have the guilt and say you should do better. And what I found is when I'm in a relationship, you try to nip it in the bud. So if you're feeling that temptation and that wandering, investigate that, because maybe there's something in a relationship you have to discuss. We're all fallible, and if we're all tempted, like, stuff could happen. And so if you want to stay in that relationship, the couples that I've met who make it work, no one's perfect. They just, as soon as they notice that type of temptation and the possibility, you get out of it. That's why, teachers like keep the door open when you're talking to a female student, it's like all this little stuff. There's ways to keep yourself from getting to the point. If sometimes we, without realizing it, put ourselves in positions to fail. And I think that's a good way to stay loyal. The flesh is weak sometimes. This guy in the song seems like a little bit of a dick, but he also seems like, what is he trying to do? Is this me talking to the ghost of my future self? I say my old lady, no one says that. But then also, what if his girlfriend, what if they just have an open thing? You never know. But it's interesting. I definitely didn't have the experience to write this. I was just this was like me being stoned, putting words down to a melody. This was probably one of the first songs I put down words to a melody. This is a lot older than the year suggests. It's when I was living in LA. But yeah, brings back memories always.